cyber threats were already prevalent prior to COVID, as they were occurring on average every 39 seconds. Confinement means that a lot more people are working from home and organizations are doing their best to support that migration. That also means that customer data is distributed more broadly than it has ever been in the past. Systems are more exposed than ever because of this very migration, and attackers see this current situation as an opportunity. The scary thing is that there is a double effect here. For example, the number of devices exposing remote accessibility to the internet has increased by 42% over the past months. This is for allowing users to remotely manage their workstation or server. The remote desktop protocol has a history of security issue and generally shouldn't be publicly accessible without any other protection. So combine this with a spike in cyber threat, such as targeted phishing attempts, using the coronavirus as a theme, and you get a pretty alarming situation. We'll come back to this later. On a more general level, we've also seen a 4,000% increase in ransomware and malicious attacks through email. Cyber threats don't cause mere thousands of dollars of loss anymore. The damage is in the billions. And while there is a common misconception that only certain size business or industries are attacked, the reality is that nobody is immune. Threat actors target businesses of all size and across all industry. So let's take a look at this ransomware business a little deeper. The average ransom payment in the second quarter of this year was $178,000. This is a 60% leap from the previous quarter. The average ransom payment climbed steadily since 2019, and this is for two reasons. The first one is the arrival of the first big game hunting ransomware tactics. Prior to this tactic, the ransomware sphere was dominated by opportunistic attack called spray and pray, where attackers didn't do victim profiling and used the same demand whether the victim was a 10-person company or a 1,000-person enterprise. This is what has changed recently. A fine-tuning of the ransom demand based on the wallet thickness of the victim, if you want. Let's look at a recent example to understand the second reason explaining the ransom price surge. On August 20, the University of Utah revealed that it has paid a ransom of $457,000. This was not to obtain the decryption key for their file, because in fact, very few were encrypted, but rather to purchase the promise from the extortionist that the student information that has been obtained wouldn't be publicly released. This is the second reason why payouts for ransomware authors are getting bigger, because they have complemented their approach with a data exfiltration and a doxing threat on top of the ransom one. And this is working. According to the ZDNet news services, there is now 13 ransomware groups using this double extortion scheme. Of course, even though the victim pay, there isn't no guarantee that the data will not be leaked. From a GDPR perspective, I don't think you can pretend not having a breach by paying a ransom that way. If you've listened to any recent interview from our CEO, Pierre Raz, you have certainly heard him strongly advocating on the need for senior management to be held accountable for cyber incidents happening on their watch. Well, Gartner also think that this will happen. They recently predicted that 75% of CEO will be personally liable for cyber physical security incident by 2024. The cybersecurity and physical security systems needs to be taken seriously now, and this cannot be an afterthought anymore.